it feel alright. Whoa. They call me Mr. Lover, they call me Mr. Lover. Mr. Lover, they call me Mr. Lover. They call me Mr. Lover, they call me Mr. Lover. Mr. Lover, they call me Mr. Lover. Because a woman take a thing for me from England. You satisfy your soul, you say she wants a man. It's a ranking, she buck up and I'm going to make it explode just like a bomb. Every hour, every minute and every second. Champion is no reason tonight. Well, champion is gonna make it feel right. Whoa. They wouldn't want to think that I'll overstand man. Looking at the enemy, that she wants a man. That is to her and she responds. She tells me that she has a man like a boomerang. But the last time you're fully got the all-time run. You talk about Mr. Lover man, you talk about Mr. Lover man. Mr. Lover man, you talk about Mr. Lover. You talk about Mr. Lover man, you talk about Mr. Lover. Mr. Lover man, you talk about Mr. Lover man. I'm not gonna take it easy. You won't get away tonight.
Anthony Stevens, 19-5-2, 10 knockouts, the youngest of the fighting Stevens family. Anthony and his three older brothers, Donald, Ricky, and Jerry, all enjoyed distinguished amateur careers. Anthony won 7 state titles and in '85 won the 147-pound national championship. Tonight, his first shot at a world title. And here is the champion, 20-year-old Felix Trinidad out of Pupi Alto, Puerto Rico, captured the belt in his first world title fight back in June, a stirring second-round knockout of two-time world champion Maurice Blocker. In his last fight this past August, he KO'd #1 contender Luis Garcia at 2 minutes and 31 seconds of the first round. Tonight, Trinidad's second title defense. Felix Trinidad, 21-0 with 18 knockouts, 8 straight KOs. Here in '93, he's had 5 fights, a grand total of 9 rounds, including 3 first-round knockouts. He has the 3rd highest knockout ratio of all present world champions at 86%. Time now to go to the numbers. To the tail of the tape, Trinidad 8 years younger than Stevens. A 3-inch height advantage for Trinidad. The champion just at the limit, 147. Stevens checks in at 145. And Stevens, who is 3 inches shorter, has a 2-inch reach advantage. And to the IBF rules for this championship fight, 10-point must system, 3 scoring judges, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule, only the referee can stop the fight, and a fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the last round. And to the special tiebreaker rules, in case of a draw after 12 rounds, the fighters will fight 1 additional round to break the tie. Judges will be instructed to score the round in favor of one fighter or the other and not score the round even. So here at the Convention Center in Fort Lauderdale, moments away from our main event, the IBF Welterweight Championship, set for the introductions. Let's go to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining referee in charge. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Bill Connors. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner is the challenger. He enters the ring wearing black trunks and fighting out of Bogalusa, Louisiana. He weighed in at a trim and ready 145 pounds, and his record includes 19 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws, with 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He is ranked the number 11 welterweight contender in the world by the IBF. Please welcome tonight's challenger, known as the Untouchable, Anthony Stevens. And his opponent across the ring. On my left, fighting out of the red corner, is the defending world champion, wearing red trunks with white trim. Hailing from it, representing Coupe Alto in Puerto Rico, he weighed in at the welterweight of 147 pounds. He enters the ring with an unblemished record of 21 wins, no losses, with 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome a rising young star of the welterweight division, the undefeated IBF welterweight champion of the world, Felix Tito Trinidad. Once again, your referee in charge now to give instructions, Bill Connors.
You're the chief second. ¿Habla inglés? No. Okay, mira. We went over the instructions in the dressing room, okay? Yo quiero una pelea bastante limpia. I want a clean fight, okay? When I call for a break, separarse. Very clean, okay? Any questions about anything we discussed in the back? Touch gloves, listen to my commands, and good luck to you. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Kind of unusual in that referee Bill Connors works back-to-back fights as we look at Trinidad and Stevens. Trinidad, an easy, relaxed style, but can turn it up in a hurry and go to the attack with much pressure. His knockout punch is the left hook, but he's had great success with a wicked right hand as well. Meanwhile, Stevens, a boxer puncher, more of a boxer's best weapon, a straight right hand. This fight originally slated for October the 2nd at Miami, Highlight, but was postponed because Trinidad was reported to have had a cold and an injured hand. We learned yesterday there was nothing wrong with his hand. He was simply not prepared on October the 2nd. Thus, the fight was moved back. Another thing, Felix and his trainer, his father, Felix Sr., found out through us at our meeting with him yesterday about the IBF experiment with the overtime tiebreaker, and understandably, they were quite taken aback.
You notice when they just came out and they touched gloves, Trinidad slammed Stevens' gloves, and they had bad glances passed back and forth, and they were ready to start the fight before the bell.
I think they were watching that last fight pretty closely, and the bad blood spilling over here into our main event.
Well, right off the bat, I see Trinidad fighting with his usual calm, waiting for things to come, and the other guy fighting herky-jerky, a little bit electric, a little bit nervous, I would say, to be kind.
Well, I think he's also followed the fact that he's been told quite a bit that Trinidad is an early starter, likes to get going right away, and what he's trying to do is make sure he doesn't get hit and hurt early.
Yeah, well, that was instructions from Leslie Banana. Don't get hit early. This comes to us after 3 and 4 and 5, so don't worry about those first couple of rounds. And that's the instruction from Banana, and he better do something beside what he's doing now, because he will leave here fast if he doesn't.
Despite his reputation as a fast starter, he says he never actually goes in looking for the first round knockout. If it comes, it comes, but he tries never to get too close to his opponent early. The champion Trinidad in the red, the challenger Stevens in the black. There's some string hanging from the left glove of Stevens, taken away by Bill Connors, the referee. Right hand by Stevens.
That right hand got Trinidad's attention immediately. Sneaky punch right down the middle. Trinidad wasn't expecting it.
And then a left hand solidly done by Trinidad.
And Stevens was expecting that one, and it landed with crunching effectiveness.
Trinidad excuse me, Bobby, Trinidad told us that all he knows about Stevens is his record, and, quote, that ain't too much. He has seen no tapes of Stevens. Now backing him into the corner, but Stevens able to scramble out. I asked Stevens how he intended to slow down Trinidad. He replied, I'll make him miss and then counter, which is what you said earlier, Bobby. Lots of side to side. He'll see lots of problems coming straight forward. I will expose him. He's going to be in a fight, not like the last two fights. He hopes to disrupt Trinidad's rhythm and catch him early.
Well, he's already been hit with a better right hand than the last two fights put together. I'll say that much for Stevens.
Good right hand by Trinidad.
And hit twice. I mean, he's been throwing it and missing, but he has been throwing a hard right hand.
Final seconds of the opening round, scheduled for 12. Will they go to a 13th?
Tiene que pelearme con esa mano derecha alta porque te está goleando la derecha. Me pelea con la izquierda alta. ¿Oíste? ¿Está bien?
That's Trinidad's father saying you got to keep your hand up. This guy's hit you twice with hard right hands. Don't get lazy on me. Keep your hand up. Hand up.
Porque te coló dos derechas.
He hit you 2 times straight, he said.
Esa mano derecha no la peligra andar. Tira una vez por
Here's that surprising right hand that caught the attention of Trinidad. Look at that. That's right on the button. If that guy can punch hard. Whoa.
You see what he does is Stevens ducks down a little bit. You see him dip down a little bit here, and Trinidad drops the hand, boom, right over the top, right down the pipe.
That's what his father just saw. That's what his father just instructed him. When you dip down, keep that hand up. You go down and the hand goes down, you're going to get hit. Which he did.
Round number 2.
First title shot for Stevens in the black trunks, 19-5-2, 10 knockouts, knocked down once by Livingstone Bramble back in May of '91. Stevens questioned Trinidad's power earlier in the week, to which Trinidad replied, Saturday, today, he will know how hard I hit and how fast he'll be knocked out. At the end of the fight, he will come up to me and tell me how hard I hit. A little out of character for Trinidad, not a big talker, not flashy, has no nickname, no entourage. Let's give you the scoring from that first round. Robert Ballo had a 10-9 for Stevens. Gary Merritt, 10-9 for Trinidad. And Clark Sammartino had a 10-9 for Trinidad.
Well, I had to fight 10-9 for Trinidad, too. I thought even though he got hit with the 2 right hands, he was more effective for the entire round and landed more punches than the cleaner punches.
Yeah, those two right hands were about the only thing that Stevens did that good to win it now. I thought it was a 10-9 round for Felix Trinidad as well.
Stevens now working the body a little bit and trying to tie Trinidad up on the inside, showing that he's a little more seasoned than his record may lead us to believe.
Good left hand by Anthony Stevens. Stevens rated number 11 by the IBF.
Felix begin to trigger off some heavy artillery to the body now. Heavy hooks to the body by Felix Trinidad.
That left hook he throws to the body is wicked.
Yes, it is.
The fact that the fight has gone this long is a story. A right hand there by Anthony Stevens that landed, but not cleanly.
Stevens came here to win. You can see it. He's doing what he has to get to Trinidad. He's getting to him a bit, not quite as often as he might like. And I can actually, from personal experience, tell you about the Stevens family. I did an exhibition once with his brother Donald, and he can fight a little bit himself.
So you know from personal experience of the blood. How'd you do, by the way?
It was an exhibition. We're friends.
Yeah. Incidentally, 12 of Trinidad's 21 fights ending in the first 2 rounds. We'll see what happens here. We're in the latter stages of round 2.
I find Trinidad reaching a little bit more than he had been before. I mean, he reached with that right hand through the first round. He's still doing it a little bit too much for a guy that's fighting back.
Stevens also showing a jab that's pretty good and finding its mark a few times, giving Trinidad a little bit of trouble working around him. I think that may be why he's reaching, lunging with that right hand.
Yeah.
Coming up on 20 seconds left in round 2. 18 knockouts in 21 fights for Trinidad.
No.
Heavy exchange there. Body shots.
Let's not be playing anybody down, okay?
Little warning, a little cautioning from Bill Connors. Cut out the wrestling tactics in the face of Anthony Stevens. Right hand by Stevens.
Respira hondo y vos te van a ver. No te ves.
You got to turn him. He's coming to you, trying to walk you down. All right? You tie him up nice, but next time you tie him up, but you walk him in a circle. Don't just grab him. When you tie him up inside, walk him in a circle. All right? Step across and then right hand. Looking good. You're looking real good. Real good. I think this is the most anybody's landed on Trinidad in his career cleanly, and what Stevens won't, that's another one. Again, this guy can punch real hard, Bobby.
He does that little dip. He bends his knees. Trinidad comes down to him, drops his hands a little bit, and fires over the top. And he's been very accurate with it.
Le pone presión, pero con pasos laterales.
Now, his daddy's telling him he better apply more pressure. He's letting this guy get a little bit too brave. They're getting a little bit worried about his getting hit by that right hand. And, well, they should. That right hand could put you out.
Well, this is certainly the first time we've ever seen Trinidad's chin tested.
Something that they always talk about with a young fighter, especially a sensation, an offensive sensation, is can he take a punch when he gets hit with that big one, or two or three of them? We're going to find out. He got hit again.
And Bobby, if he goes down, if he should go down, how does he get up? Does he get up fighting? You know, as we saw Obakar do, he went down, but he got up fighting.
I think in one of his earlier fights, he did get knocked down over in New York and came back to knock the opponent out in the very next round.
In the second round, the three judges saw it this way. Robert Ballo, 10-9 Trinidad. Gary Merritt, 10-9 Stevens. And Clark Sammartino, 10-9 Stevens. So Stevens gets that round.
So we have a draw brewing again.
Here we go again. But it is early. Back on June 19th, as a virtual unknown, Trinidad shook up the welterweight division with a ferocious second-round knockout of Maurice Blocker to take the IBF belt, and 2 months later defended it with a first-round knockout of #1 contender Luis Gabriel Garcia. Deck Garcia 4 times. They both retired after those fights, too.
Something that not too many of the fans at home might know, and even boxing people, it's actually illegal to clinch. It's a technique used to keep a fighter off from hitting you and tie him up when you're tired, but it's actually illegal.
A warning for a low blow from Trinidad. Trinidad digging to the body just as Stevens was crouching, and he got hit low, did Stevens. Warning from the referee.
And just for argument's sake, Trinidad has not gone the distance since he decisioned Jake Rodriguez in Puerto Rico in December. And he won. Trinidad down. Trinidad wobbled. Trinidad in trouble.
He hit the ground. His gloves touched the ground. He is down.
A swarming Anthony Stevens. All over Trinidad.
It's going to keep coming like that. He's got trouble, and he's got big trouble tonight. Now we're going to see what he's made of, Bobby.
Trinidad is still hurt. You're going to see how smart he reacts under pressure when he's in trouble. He has not got his legs under him.
No,
look in his eyes. He's worried.
He's clenching. That means he's in trouble. He needs the time.
Here's the time left of Days Trinidad. In difficulty, Anthony Stevens looking to finish him off, but it won't be easy against the champion.
Something I saw Stevens do that's very bright is he started to rip the uppercut up. Trinidad is trying to duck the overhand right. He tried to rip one up, but it didn't connect. But it's a smart thing to do.
Tremendous drama here in Fort Lauderdale as the undefeated Felix Trinidad in dire straits in that third.
Tito, él tiene una derecha buena y te estoy diciendo que está peleando con la mano izquierda abajo. ¿Me estás oyendo, David? ¿Me estás oyendo, Tito? Sí. Está bien. Pues yo quiero que me pelee con la mano izquierda alta. Ya véalo largo, párate bien.
All right, he's telling him, watch that right hand. Let's look at that. Oh, that's right on the button.
And it's a knockdown. The glove and the knee touch the floor.
Look at him.
That is a knockdown. The referee didn't count it. I'm wondering how this is going to count in the scoring, because if you watch again, he hits the deck. Knee and hand. Knee and hand, that's a knockdown.
Well,
the referee did not do the right thing here.
It's certainly a 10-8 round for me, as far as I'm concerned. That was a 10-8 round, and that's going to make the scoring very interesting, because a lot of guys have him hit already, 2 judges. Look at that, right down. If that's not a knockdown, I don't know what is. His glove touched the canvas. That's it. That's a knockdown.
Another boxing controversy.
Well, let me tell you, let's let's look at those cards. That should have been a 10-8 round. That means Stevens is comfortably ahead on a couple of scores.
We'll get the official tabulation in just a moment. What a round for Anthony Stevens, who is thinking upset.
Now, the last time Trinidad was on the floor, he got up and polished off his opponent in the very next round, and as you can see, he came out trying to do exactly that.
Well, he's winging now. I mean, he is really going after him now. He looked like he was sleepwalking that first round or two, but he looks like he's all business now. Oh, there goes that right hand. Missed that time. But, you know, it's what we observed in those first 2 rounds. You can't keep eating those right hands without having an effect.
You think Trinidad taking Stevens too lightly? You notice when he was coming in, he was smiling. This was the loosest we had ever seen him.
Well, I'll tell you something. Emile Sade said that they were happy with Showtime and Don King, but this wasn't a fight they were really looking forward to. They were kind of working with him and doing him a favor. No favor was being done here.
Well, he is really all business now. Trinidad is all stoked up like a fire engine. Let's go to the cards.
A clean sweep for Anthony Stevens, 10-9. No 10-8, 10-9.
That's where the scoring could come into play later. If we do have a decision in a close one, that could be a big bone of contention in the Stevens camp.
Trinidad may be coming back a little here. Good combination.
Ooh, he was measuring him with a straight right, Bobby, and it just missed.
Stevens has also expended a lot of energy, a lot of nervous energy. He's very tense, he's very tight. He's had to do more of the work to keep the fight as even as it is, and that may factor in a little while.
Hold it, break point.
Trinidad is picking up some steam here in the 4th round. Stevens looking a little fatigued, needs a second win. Now holding on to Trinidad.
I don't think Stevens could believe his good fortune. I think what happened there is he got him down and he thought, oh my gosh, I got this guy down, and now he's suffering from a little relapse to that.
Stevens is starting to show signs of the wear and tear now. Just how good Felix Trinidad is, how strong he is and resilient, what good condition he's in. It's starting to show its effects on the face and body of Anthony Stevens.
You see the legs, the way the legs go with Felix Trinidad when he gets in close. He is...
But he's still walking into those right hands, Bert. He can't keep doing that.
Well, that was the first good one he got this round. I mean, he's been so busy that the guy hadn't thrown anything.
So Trinidad picking up confidence there in round number 4. 4 rounds complete here in Fort Lauderdale. We'd like to welcome those of you who have been watching the World Series Game 6, and it is all over. Toronto beats Philadelphia 8-6 to win the World Series in 6. 4 games to 2. The heroics provided by Joe Carter in the bottom of the 9th. You talk about dramatics, a 3-run homer. And Toronto defeats Philadelphia back-to-back World Championships. Meanwhile, the champion here, if you're just joining us and you missed this, in the 3rd round, the IBF welterweight champion in trouble.
Well, so I'll tell you what, I'm sure that this is a knockdown, but they didn't call it a knockdown. And it's going to be important in the scoring. And as we're showing the scoring to the fans at home, this is going to be very interesting down the line.
I would like to hear the explanation. But if a glove touches in almost any state in the union, that's a knockdown. And
round 5, scheduled for 12. If it's a draw at the end of 12, the experiment here tonight, first time in a championship fight, they go to a tiebreaker, 13th round, which cannot be even.
The body shots are starting to take a toll on Stevens a little bit. You can see him almost immediately setting up to block the body shots, but he's still getting home with that right hand. It's going to be interesting to see if Trinidad can keep taking him on the chin like that all night.
Well, he certainly didn't take that one real good. Bad stuff.
The momentum swinging in Trinidad's favor. And Trinidad looking to air it out. Trinidad took 2 out of 3 judges. Stevens got 1 vote in that 4th round. 2 minutes to go in the 5th. So 2 judges, Ballo and Merritt, have it even at 38. San Martino has it 39-37. Stevens.
Well, I'll tell you, I have it 38-37 for Trinidad, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
I have the same thing, 38-37 Trinidad. And I think that's going to be academic because the roof is starting to fall in on Anthony Stevens.
Oh, what a right hand by Trinidad, who is landing repeatedly now.
I'll tell you what, you're going to have to respect Stevens, not only his ability to get his punches home, but he has taken some tremendous shots.
A little holding and hitting there by Trinidad. The warning from Bill Connors.
Here comes the right hand, if he can throw it.
Hey, quit hanging on.
Quit hanging on, he says to Stevens, and Stevens says, I need some rest here. What are you talking about?
Well, he expended so much energy over the first 4 rounds. He's almost out of gas.
But look at the way Felix tries to finish him.
Stevens has been in with the likes of Harold Brazier and Livingstone Bramwell, so he does know what top-notch competition is, and in the later rounds, because I don't believe either of those fighters stopped him.
Well, he's standing in front of a fury this time. Not only was his pride hurt, but he was hurt, and he has come back like a true champion.
He nearly had the champion knocked down for the first time in Trinidad's career in that 3rd round. It was like inches away.
Very clean.
Stevens has not been stopped. This would be the first time if it happens, and he, again, has been in with some good fighters, so he knows how to weather the storm. Can he weather this storm? We're going to see.
15 seconds left in the 5th round. Stevens just looking to cover up.
Don't be in front of his face.
Deep breath.
Move side to side. Get some offense in here. Not defensive
Deep
thing.
breath.
He ain't got nothing for you.
Gotta drink a little water.
I'm just fucking nothing. You know I'm right.
Ain't nobody said it was going to be easy, no.
Hey.
But you got to fucking go get it.
Get you. I'm much tougher than him, man. Get your feet, boy. Tough.
You get ready to get your second win, all right? Put your head over there. Put your head over there.
Right. Right. You're not going to survive. You're going to win. That's what you're playing for. 3 months more.
You got your second win coming right now.
Might be
Be smart. Now here's his comeback in Trinidad. Now you see Trinidad put everything he's got on a knockout. He just wants to get this guy out of here. No more chances, and he wants to punish him, and he's done that in good fashion. And you see Bonanno from the Big Easy from New Orleans talking to him like you do in New Orleans. He was with the police force for a while. He knows how to talk to people. He says, get it started. Don't just stand there with defense. Get offense started. He needs his good friend Al Hurt to blow the charge because right now all he's hearing is retreat.
Get some colorful language from the coach.
Well, if you're from New Orleans,
Some adult motivation.
if you're from New Orleans and the Big Easy, you know how to motivate people.
We'll see if it works. Round 6. The IBF Welterweight Championship. Felix Trinidad gaining steam from the 4th round on. Trinidad in the red.
Very clean. Very clean.
A clean sweep for Trinidad by judges Ballo, Merritt, and San Martino in round 5.
Well, Trinidad is very, he's very focused. He's still, I think, somewhat upset and embarrassed by the knockdown or almost knockdown, as it was called, and he's intent on knocking Stevens out.
10-9 the scoring of all 3 judges in that last round. So after 5, Ballo has it 48-47. Trinidad, Merritt 48-47 for Trinidad, and San Martino has Stevens ahead 48-47.
Whoa. I got Trinidad ahead 48-46.
I also have him 48-46 in the lead.
Well, we need the 13th round.
Well,
I would be willing to bet against it.
Yeah.
I would be willing to bet that this thing isn't going to go all the way.
Well, if Trinidad has his way, midway through the 6th.
The pressure right now and the pace is too much. The punches are too hard, they're too accurate, and there are too many. Stevens is right now basically at the beginning of the end.
Vicious right uppercut by Trinidad. Stevens looks punched out.
The problem here is that Stevens has nothing to come back with anymore. That right hand that was powdering Trinidad has not been seen rounds. The onslaught continues.
Thumping body shots by the champions.
I can't even begin to express the amount of pain and actual weakening that happens when you get hit with a clean body shot like that time after time.
And we can see Stevens wincing in the agony.
And what you're seeing here is a demonstration of youth. A guy that's on the top of his form. He's young and he can do this for 10 or 12 rounds, whatever is necessary.
Trinidad at 28 years, the junior of Stevens, who looks to be faltering, looks to be wobbling.
This is a one-way beating right now. You better do something to stop this avalanche.
Oh, what a shot and a combination followed by Trinidad. It could be a matter of time.
I have to once again, though, tip my hat to Stevens. He's taken some tremendous shots. He's not gone down. He's still throwing punches. He's still landing right hands. He's still in this fight.
That was the first 2 punches of this round that he landed that had any meaning to him, Bobby. Stevens.
Stevens showing a lot of heart.
Come here from there. Follow this for me. Call the referee over here.
He's right behind you.
Hey, ref. Do me a favor. You got to hit another low blow over here. When you got, I'm not saying I know you didn't see it for watching. It's like the 4th low blow.
That's your job.
4th low blow. Hey, look. This fight is so close. You understand? We just called up and checked it to see. You're only 1 point behind. You can have it if you want it, but God damn it, you got to get tougher. You understand? And you're still backing up right in front of the guy. You listen when I'm talking to you? Angles and pivots.
Trinidad and his non-stop punching machine, and that's been going on now steadily for 3 rounds. He wants this guy out of there.
But once again, to Stevens' credit, here he comes. The heart is still there. He's still throwing the punches. He's trying to get that right hand home, and again, he's getting it there. Certainly no quitting this man.
And I love Banana saying, I just called and found out we're only behind 1 point. Banana said, I brought me a cellular phone and I got a guy watching this fight. He says, I'm going to know whether we're behind or not. So there was the first evidence that what he told me was true. He does have a cellular phone.
What I believe to be a very bright move in the corner.
The fans in the arena don't know the scoring, but we do it ringside here. We're passing it along round by round to you at home. In the 6th round, Ballo had it 10-9 Trinidad, so did Merritt, and so did Sammartino. So 58-56 Trinidad by Ballo. Merritt has it the same, and Sammartino has it even at 57.
Boy, if you think this is an even round, I think you should go back to school. I mean, an even fight.
No, I don't think it's certainly not an even fight. I do believe the knockdown helped with the scoring.
But they didn't count it a knockdown.
They didn't even count it as a knockdown, and we still have him further ahead.
Round 7, 1 minute in.
Let's keep him up, okay?
Now there was Banana's homework. Banana just told him to watch those punches, and the referee Connors responded with a warning. See that homework you can do in the corner. Angelo Dundee was a master of that. Drove the referees crazy.
Oh, he was certainly not only a motivator, he influenced everybody.
Yeah, and so does Lou Dewar. Screaming and hollering makes the referee listen to you.
Just like a coach in basketball, they'll work the officials.
Midway through the 7th. Stevens trying to get that second win. Flipped with the right hand by Trinidad.
Well, the rain has let up a little bit. He's still on him, but it's not as hard as he has been. He pushed real hard for knockout for about 3 rounds. He's taking this round, and it's just bopping, but not hard.
Well, I'll tell you what, Stevens still trying to throw in, landing that right hand from time to time, but it just appears to be that he's outgunned.
Yeah, it's just the only chance he's got to land that right hand and hope something happens.
Trinidad pacing himself beautifully here in this round, perhaps just waiting for his moment. But not the smothering attack that we saw the last round or 2 by Felix. Letting up on the pressure.
Well, as we said at the top of the show, these are the fights that you have to not only win, but look good in if you want to be considered in those prospective great superstar fights. And how you come back from a knockdown like that is what counts. So far, everything we've seen, he grades out pretty good.
3 outstanding welterweight champions. You're looking at one of them, Felix Trinidad, Crisanto Espana, WBA, Pernell Sweet P. Whitaker, WBC. Oh, what a combo! A hard, vicious vicious left hand by Stevens. But again, Trinidad showing the chin.
Break clean, break.
Finally, a little offense, but too little and too late.
Yeah, take care of my face.
Gotcha. Where's our spit bucket, son?
Look, son.
Don't worry about your phone. Get me a spit bucket.
Listen to me good. You got to throw more punches in order to win. You never work the body at all. Give me some grease. All right? It's up to you, baby. It's just you got to have it.
Bien acomodante. No entra la saca. ¿Está bien? ¿Oíste eso? Ok. A ver, le va a... Mira cómo le vamos a pelear. Tan, si él se dobla. ¡Tum! ¡Pum!
His father's showing him how to throw combinations, something I think he knows real well. What he's trying to tell him is get the combinations together and get this guy out of here. And the son is saying, yes, Dad, I'm going to try to do that.
Using a visual aid.
Yeah. Father was a good boxer, so that's the way they teach him.
Former Puerto Rican featherweight champ, Felix Sr. We head into the 8th round. We'll get the scoring from the 7th in a second or two.
You see, when you have a good fighter like this, the temptation is to move him right into those big money shots. This guy's not ready for that. They were talking about him and Chavez. Please, not yet.
No, there's still some immaturity there. The seasoning has not been put to, not been put in him. He needs the long distance fights with top quality to get there.
Well, his fights now are of the ilk where the guy's been a named fighter and you can beat him, like Camacho, and that's not all sure that he can beat him. But that kind of fight is the fight that they're looking for to build him as a property. If Rosario was still around, that kind of another low blow on the part of Felix, another one, and the referee has not said anything yet.
Anthony Stevens isn't done yet. Let's give you the scoring from that 7th round. Ballo had it 10-9 Stevens, Merrick 10-9 Trinidad, and San Martino 10-9 Trinidad. Yeah, one judge, Ballo, 30, 10-9 Stevens.
I cannot believe that. All he did was fight the last 3 or 4 punches of that round, and he didn't do anything the rest of the round.
Let me give you the composite now. Ballo has Trinidad up 67-66. Merritt has Trinidad 68-65. San Martino has Trinidad 67-66.
Only in professional boxing could you not get rid of a controversy no matter what you try.
You can't. It's like flypaper. You just cannot get it off.
Would you imagine if he goes back to the corner and people tell him, hey, you're within range here. You're at 67, 66 on 2 cards. All you got to do is fight and get some more, and you got it.
Look at this. Get out the cellular phone again, Les.
Yeah. Well, I have it 68, 64. I see Trinidad the last 3 or 4 rounds, 4 rounds, pitching a shutout for 4 rounds. I just haven't seen Anthony do anything but take good punishment this far.
Yeah, subsequent to the knockdown, he's gotten back in control, back to his game plan, and basically he's doing what he wants to do. And all of this work that Stevens is doing to survive is also taking a lot out of him because he's taking punches on the arms, on the shoulders, on top of his head and his body. He's going to be finished in a long, as the fight goes on, he's going to be physically, emotionally drained.
Got to give a lot of credit to the challenger in the black trunks from Bogalusa, Louisiana, Anthony Stevens. Rated number 11 by the IBF, has withstood quite an onslaught here from the 4th round on by the champ Trinidad.
It looks like Stevens is cut above the left eye as well right now, so his problems start to mount.
It's a little bloody and a little swollen, and he has been getting popped with that right hand. Another one in the bank for Felix Trinidad. Let's go see what the Big Easy's got to say.
No problem, okay? You can hit him in his fucking mouth hard as you can. You understand? It's fine. He ain't got no problem. Only problem is that you hit the nuts by this guy. That's the problem he's got. Over and over and over. With a hard grease. Man, hey, look at me. You want it? I want it. You got to take it. You understand me? Use your jab. You're not working nothing to the body. All right, give him some room. Give me his mouthpiece.
Let's take a look at Stevens trying to get back into this fight. a miss. He's got a good right hand, but he missed again with the left. But he throws it in you know, spurts and very infrequently. He's not just working. That's all. The other guy's out working him. That's basically it.
While Les Bonanno was giving his Newt Rockney speech, the fans were chanting Tito, low blow by Stevens.
And that was the instruction from the corner. If you listen to the Big Easy, Bonanno said, hey, he's hitting you, you hit him. He whispered it, but he whispered it into our microphone, which is not exactly a well-kept secret.
Yeah, that was retaliation, no question about it.
That was that.
Using that type of language, you would think that he wouldn't allow himself to be mic'd.
Especially having been a police officer and understanding that microphones pick up a lot of stuff.
I understand his point. It's something that all trainers will tell you, that if you're getting hit regularly low, hit him back low, make him respect you, and make him stop. Not only that, but Trinidad hasn't hit him right now low again, so we'll see what happens. He may swing the momentum just a little bit.
But I don't think anybody was hitting anybody low intensity, Bobby. I think that's just, he's punching so much to the body that they're going with. That trunks are pretty high.
Fellas, the 8th round went to Trinidad across the board, 10-9, all three judges. So after 8, Ballo has it Trinidad up 77-75, Merritt 78-74, Trinidad, and San Martino, Trinidad 77-75.
All right, break. Oh, break swing.
Now they finally warned Trinidad, one more low blow, and you will have a point deducted.
He can afford it.
The first 3 rounds, the challenger Anthony Stevens in the black trunks looked very impressive. In fact, he came very close to knocking Trinidad down. Came within inches. It was not ruled a knockdown, although it certainly got the champion's attention. While the glove actually touched the canvas.
As far as I'm concerned, it is a knockdown. When the glove touches or the knee touches, and the glove clearly touched, that's a knockdown.
And if two good shots by Stevens. And if nothing else, he should have stopped the fight to clean his glove, Bobby. You can't touch the canvas without your glove being clean.
That's right. You get resin in a fighter's eye, you could blind him. It's something the referee should have taken care of.
It's one or the other. He obviously didn't see it. I mean, if he'd have seen that glove hitting that canvas, he's got to stop it and wipe it.
Trinidad coming on strong here now. Looks like he was bothered for a second in the right eye. May have gotten stung, and then he comes back very, very viciously.
Well, he got hit a nice 2-punch combination that got his attention. Didn't hurt him like it did earlier in round 3, but caught his attention immediately.
He's like a shark. He smells the blood right now. But back came Stevens.
He got hit again.
Another right hand left hook. Trinidad right now is in a little bit of trouble.
What an exchange as they go toe-to-toe in the center of the ring in the final seconds of the night.
He finally got some strength up from somewhere, and he nailed Trinidad a series of punches. It wasn't just one, it was a series.
Trinidad finding himself in a fight.
Tírame hondo para ahí, con calma. Hondo para ahí, hondo para ahí, hondo para ahí. Vámonos, Matito. ¿Dónde? Vámonos, más. Bota, güey, Tito. Tito. Ok. ¿Cómo tú te sientes? Acabito unos paquitos ahora que te... Sí, ya, estoy bien. Está bien, perfecto. Con las manos altas, no te me descuides, ¿está bien?
All right, let's take a look at Stevens and his instructions from the corner where hit him low. And there it is. And there it is. It wasn't...
Hit him in the backside and the front side.
Yeah, he was like a sandwich there. And later in the round, watch the action as it heats up, as Trinidad starts coming on.
As I've been saying all night, Stevens has no quit in him, and he is landing that right hand. Now he's taking the hook behind it, and I do believe he had Trinidad just for a little bit there in a little bit of trouble.
Well, if his cellular phone is working, that one went to Stevens based on that, and, you know, according to these 75, 78, 77 rounds, hey, this is very close.
It is round 10. We go to double figures.
Nice, long, reaching right hand that landed right on the button of Anthony Stevens. And I continue to marvel at the way he takes his punishment. This kid can punch very hard, Trinidad can.
It's only Trinidad's 3rd trip to the 10th round in his professional career. 21-0, 18 knockouts, 8 straight knockouts. His last distance fight was December of '91. He decisioned Jake Rodriguez.
The challenger in this case has been 12 rounds, and the champion has not.
Much less 13. If we have to go to 13, let us not forget, we may go to 13 the way these cards are shaping up.
That's the experiment for the first time ever for a world championship fight. If it's a draw after 12, and as close as this fight is, particularly not getting that knockdown, it really could backfire on Stevens.
Leveled off a little bit here. Trinidad, too, may be tiring a little bit from the enormous amount of energy he's used to apply so much pressure. But Stevens is getting a little bit of a second wind here. Firing combinations right punch for punch.
Now the pace picks up. Blistering exchange there.
Yeah, it's like that second wind has come to Stevens. He's punching hard. Oh.
Here they go, and Stevens is in trouble.
His legs right now are a little rubbery, but like I said before, there's no quit in him. He's doing what he has to, tying him up, punching. He is staying in the game.
I don't know what's keeping him up. A hard right hand by Stevens. He loaded up and fired away. Oh, another right hand by Stevens.
Let me tell you, Stevens is making a battle for this round. Whoa, look at this.
Look at the head movement by Stevens to avoid the punches by the champ.
I'll tell you what, this is a situation where even in a loss, his stock will skyrocket.
30
Stevens,
seconds.
that is.
Oh, we understood. Now Stevens looks winded again. Does he have anything left here for the final seconds of the 10th? A lunging right by Trinidad who wants to end it already. A chopping right hand by Felix Trinidad. Final seconds of the 10th.
Punishment. The cumulative effect in this case had to be tremendous.
I for one, I'm glad that's over with him because he was really getting a shellacking at the end of that. He was very brave. As you said, Bobby, his stock went up with this. I mean, he came in here, everybody looked to see him go out in a round or two, and the guy went for 10, and darn near won it in the third. So let us sing a little praise for Anthony Stevens. He did a damn good job tonight.
Absolutely.
And a jubilant Felix Trinidad celebrates. What a relief. And, of course, a fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the last round. IBM man from Bogalusa, Louisiana, a lot of credit. The official time, 2:59 of the 10th, so it happened just a hair before the bell.
And I would say he was losing that round, wouldn't you?
Actually, the knockdown occurred at 2:59. He should be, and technically and legally in this game, he is counted out at 3:09 of round 10, but somebody will correct it down the road.
Boxing statistician Bobby Ches has the last word.
Well, he was clearly counted out after the bell, and that's how it's done.
Well, these are the kind of fights that Trinidad needs. These are the kind of conditioning fights where you grow into manhood with a guy like this. And let's go to the scorecard.
Yeah, in case you were wondering, Robert Ballo had it 87-84, Trinidad through 9. Gary Merritt had it 88-83, Trinidad. And Sammartino had it 87-84 for Felix.
Let's take a look at the end of this fight, and this is the culmination of a waterfall of punches that have befallen the hapless Anthony Stevens as he's tried to make a fight out of it, but finally came to the end of the road. That's just too much Trinidad, too much youth, too much connecting punches. The brain can only take so much. He was on the verge of unconsciousness here.
He was just outgunned, Ferdy. It was just too much in the arsenal of Felix Trinidad. Stevens fought as good a fight as he possibly could have. No one gave him credit until he came in here in the third round. You saw what happened. He almost knocked
He's a finisher. This
Trinidad
kid
out.
is a Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard finisher. I mean, when you see that kind of punishment inflicted by such a young man as this, you know what's coming in store for people in the next 5 or 6 years with this kid.
Just as Stevens started to put combinations back together, started to get back into the fight a little more, maybe have the momentum swing a little bit again, he ran into what was going to be a steam engine just going to mow him down.
So outstanding action throughout, and it ends at 2:59 officially of the 10th round, a knockout for the champion Felix Trinidad, who retains his IBF welterweight title in his second title defense, lifting his record to 22-0 with 19 knockouts. The finishing moments for Anthony Stevens, who just didn't have anything left in his gas tank, and look at all these unanswered punches. Boom, right there. Big, heavy right by Trinidad.
The tremendous shots, they're all landing flush, and to his credit, Stevens didn't go down till the very, very end. And for me personally, it was a shame to see such a valiant young guy have to be reduced to being counted out on his knees. I feel bad for him.
But perhaps the everlasting memory will be what you were talking about. Despite the loss, Anthony Stevens' stock goes up. Let's get the official time from ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time, 2 minutes, 59 seconds in round number 10. The winner by way of knockout, still undefeated, and still the IBF welterweight champion of the world, Felix Tito Trinidad.
So Felix Trinidad making a name for himself.